Right, so here we are. That's the starting grid. First part from Champs, quite an interesting race ahead. It's a reverse grid as informed earlier, so that's why you see Skinny, who was last in Bathurst, is starting on pole, and that's how the grid order has been. So while you wait for the race for start, oh, it has started already. So Mercedes and Wildest Monk get the really good start. Seasor started on P4, getting a really good start himself. But so will we see any incidents down the order? Hopefully we don't see any. And yeah, there was no. Oh, as who was that? Abby to speed again. I believe that's third time in what, 4 races that we've seen that he struggled at the start of the race. He is down into P9. Ancient Pleb, I believe he started in P10, is up into. Oh, no, he's down into P9, so not really sure what happened there. But courtesy reverse grid, all the drivers who were finishing up in the order will be starting at the very back of the track. As you can see how close everyone is. Oh, this looks like a bit of a collision between Edie Sands and PRX. Skinny Edie Sands is off the track, and this will allow Abby Taco to overtake him quite comfortably, and Asian Pleb and RKV going side by side to the corner. And now Wildest Monk and Seasor will be approaching. As you can see, 4 cars going side by side. So this is really interesting battle between all these guys. This is a battle for P5, remember. So this will help the top 4 guys to pull away from this pack who is fighting for P5. So finally all these guys have fallen into a straight line. Not really sure where to look exactly, as there's so much happening all over the track. Where is Archie talking about Dinesh? Oh, Dinesh is falling further back down the order. So Monk is pulling this pack further and further. So Seasor and Abby to Speed, both teammates, are the only ones who are in the GTR. So they must have had some team meetings in the middle of the week to decide which car to take, as we can see Edie Sands going really wide, and yeah, he will definitely lose some pace off the track, and now he's falling down the order. And Ancient Pleb Abby to Speed has taken full advantage of that. Flipper on the attack? No, not really, but will we see something going on here? We'll have to wait and see, as oh, there's a collision here, and Edie Sands has gone off the track, and now he's pushed Ancient Pleb into the back of Abby to Speed and RKV, and everything is having a domino effect here. Archie is meanwhile giving some taps here. So collision here between Flipper and Edie Sands really made everyone go into each other, as Abby Taco, oh, and Wildest Monk had the tank slapper and allowed Seasor to take the lead of this race. So Seasor will be under attack from Abby Taco and Skinny on the Camel Straight. So will Seasor defend from Abby Taco? Abby Taco obviously has gained a reputation in the league of someone who doesn't hold back while attacking or defending, for that matter. So now, is he under close enough to make that move? No, not really. Oh, some contact. I think there was very light contact, and that has allowed Seasor to really cut that corner and get himself a second penalty. And meanwhile, Abby to Speed out of nowhere is up into P3. I'm sorry, there's so much going on in the race, I'm forgetting where to look. As everyone, I think, oh, Seasor is down into P2 now. He's under attack from his teammate. Seasor goes really wide, so this wouldn't go. Oh, no, his teammate is off. So these two teammates are not having the best of the races, going off the track at every other corner. Abby Taco has now managed to pull away from Seasor. Ancient Pleb up into P4. Oh, someone is Seasor down into P6 now. Under attack from Wildest Monk. This race is going from bad to worse for Seasor, who was leading the race at the start of this sector, is now down into P6. But Skinny is showing really good pace here in the Aston Martin. Aston Martin is looking really good, I must say, in the proximity livery. He is attacking now, Abby Taco, and now he is under attack from Ancient Pleb. Ancient Pleb, who started from the back of the field, showing his pace again here after missing last 6 race, that he is here to win every week that he shows up. And now Skinny thinking of the move at Blanchimont. Abby Taco going really wide. Was there any contact made? Not really sure. Abby Taco will go defensive as we know him to be. And now RKV makes a really slight tap into him, resulting in him play. Oh, you can see he's ghosting now. Sees up into P5. Where is Abby to Speed? Abby to Speed has lost somewhere. Now he's down into P8. So this race is really kicking off. Seasor is on the inside of RKV. And now I think this should be an easy move for Seasor, as now Abby to Speed and Skinny are going side by side. So this is really turning out into quite a battle. You can see top 6 fighting for the lead. Top three really close to each other. Skinny should be able to make the move. And now he's stick on the outside. I think he made the move on the outside. And now we have a different race leader going into. This is just a lap 3, so we had Caesar, Monk, and Skinny all changing lead lap by lap. As there's a bit of a contact between Abitagor. Abitagor thought that he could attack Ancient Pleb. As you know, there's a bit of a contact more behind it. Caesar is down to P4, so really kicking off for second lap in a row. Skinny, meanwhile, has managed to pull a gap to these guys. There's a 3 wide going into the downhill hairpin, as still they're making contacts to each other. Caesar's giving all the space, and now he's going wide again for the second corner in a row. This is not helping him. Caesar, who is looking to attack, and now he's falling down the order, being overtaken by Ancient Pleb and Abby to Speed. Abby to Speed on the inside and pushes Ancient Pleb off the track, allowing Caesar to gain back 2 positions. Onto one corner, he gets a tap from Archie for good measure. So Ancient Pleb won't be really happy with this. So this race is really turning out the bumper car race. Quite interesting from a spectator point of view, but not so good from a driver's point of view, as the Wildest Monk is having his hazards on. Not really sure why, but Abitagor is under attack from RKV's F1 based McLaren Vodafone livery. So Caesar is now attacking. GTR has much better straight line speed than the Merc, and you can see Caesar is up into P4 thanks to the superior top end speed. And now he is in the sandwich. GTR sandwich is Wildest Monk. We'll stay on board with him through this camera angle. As we can see, Caesar up in front. Thought of making that move stick, but RKV is still holding on P3, and that has allowed Abby to Speed to make the move himself, and he is up into P5. As we can see, for the up the field, Abitagor was sending it down the inside, gives him a little tap, and now for the fourth lap, we have a different leader. No, not different leader, rather he was leading the lap in lap 2 in that corner. So now Caesar is under. Caesar is attacking Skinny, giving up a tap there. So the bomb drafting him is what we call it. So now, will we see 3 wide into the end of the Camel Straight? We'll have to wait and see. We'll stay on board with Skinny, as he is the sandwich car. So Skinny trying to go on the right of Abitagor. Where is Caesar? Caesar is going on the right as well. So what's going on here? Will we see another move? Skinny goes really wide, and now Caesar from P3 going to the extreme right is now back into P1. So he remember, he was down in P6 couple of laps ago, down in P5 a lap ago. He's now made his way up to lap 1. So now, with no one attacking him into this corner, will he take this lap cleanly? He does. Where is Skinny? He's down into P5. He was in P1, remember, a few corners back. He's down into P5, but so was Caesar. So will we see him go back and take the lead? Well, only time will tell. Now, in all, this Ancient Pleb is down into P9. I believe he has made his pit stop. He has. So he was having none of this. He was in the midst of a lot of battle, and the pace that he has, I think he decided that he will make an early pit stop and have a clean race for a few seconds. जी सर, बड़ी जल्दी रेडी हो गई। मेरा नहाया भी नहीं अभी। अच्छा ठीक है, तो अभी लाजपत जाना है ना? कि वहाँ से कितना देर काम है? अच्छा अच्छा, अल्लाह। तो आप ऐसा करिए, हाँ मतलब मैं क्या नहा के निकलूँ ना?
हाँ, नहा के निकलो।
Okay. 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 Alright. Alright. Right, joining back the. Now we can see Abby to speed right on tail of Abby Taco. So at Blanchimont, will we see the superior top end speed of the GTR against the Mercedes? And I think that is what we are seeing. So I think there's nothing Abby Taco can do, but he was still fighting for it, as he's known for not giving up so easily. As there's a bit of a contact on the entry, but luckily and fortunately for both of them, nothing really happened as Abby to speed really goes deep. And now Pierre Skinny has spun. So just like Abby to speed, Abby Thakur, Skinny did overshoot that corner. And unlike them, he was the only one to lose out. And we did see, oh, Monk is in the pits. And Ancient Pleb just going by casually into P7. So he has really caught up to these guys, so he will be very much into the battle once again with these guys. So it's a 5-car battle for P2. RKV is up into P2, but does top in speed again, assisted by the slipstream, will have the GTR take P2, I believe, very easily. He is up into P2 until, oh, there's 3 wides again, just like I think last lap, where Abby Thakur, Seasor, and Skinny were 3 wides. But yeah, like his teammates GTR, Abby to speed did not manage to take the best position out of those 3 wide. So Abby Thakur defending as hard as he has always in the past races, is in P2, and he will have the inside of this no-name corner, and he will hold on to his P2, or maybe not. He goes really wide and allowing Abby to speed to take P2 from him, and RKV P3 as well. He goes off track again, so he's now dropping back position as well. So he is down into P5. He goes really wide, so this will affect his entry as well, and he's been overtaken by Ancient Pleb as well. Ancient Pleb is now again very much a part of this battle, something that he didn't want to be, that made him do an early pit stop. But you can see Seasor was within his view a corner ago, so maybe that strategy didn't work out as he would have hoped for, because he is behind relatively slower drivers based on the tire compound. And now he'll be just losing his tire grip by staying behind them as long as he wouldn't like. So now will Seasor go into the pits? We are approaching the end of lap 5, so technically he should be. And now, yeah, we can see he is in the pits. Will Abby to speed goes in? Yeah, he is going in. RKB decides to stay out. Everyone else is staying out, so teammates working together and making the pit stop at the same time. And Abby Thakur is in the pits as well. Was he on the mediums? He was on the mediums. So just like Austria, where we saw him on the mediums and he made a pit stop along with the soft runners, he's doing the same as Ancient Pleb has overtaken Archie and Dr. White. So apologies, I missed that, but I think that could have been at the braking zone of Town 1. And now he is on the attack to RKV, assisted by the slipstream. This should be an easy move, and the tire wear as well. Yeah. Will he go for late breaker? He is just a little bit of contact. RKV not giving up, and Yeah, RKV holding on to P1 for now from Ancient Pleb. But as we know, Ancient Pleb is not known to send it down the inside. So very much contrasting driving style between him and Abitakor. But both of them doing quite well in the league up till now. Seasor is into P3. His teammate has meanwhile come out behind Monk and Dr. White. So something that he wouldn't have hoped for. While this Monk and Dr. White are still fighting, Dr. White is the only one who is in the Lexus, and he was the only one who had lag issues in the Bathurst, where we saw him lagging and moonwalking a lot as the wildest Monk sending it down the inside, and yeah, making that move stick. So he is the on racing hard actually. So not sure what his strategy will be. Maybe he's trying a one-stop like Abbey to Speed and RKV did in past races. But now he's under attack from Abbey to Speed. And now, yeah, this should be an easy move because of his top-end speed. And yeah, we can see Ancient Pleb has made his move. So I'm missing all the overtake moves because of all the battles that's been going on the track. Right, oh, he goes a bit wide there. That's the Lexus. Any other battles on the track? Oh yes, Abitakor between and Archie. So this should be an interesting one. Abitakor making the move stick, and he goes just in time rather. So he's on the one mediums, Abitakor on fresh soft. So that explained the grip that he had, and now Archie is going into the pits. Edie Sands has made his pit stop, so he will be carrying on as Ancient Pleb is in the pits again. So he has already made 2 pit stops more than everyone else. I'm sorry, my mic disconnected there. So I was saying that Ancient Pleb has made 2 pit stops more than everyone else, and he's right up with these guys. As we can see, Abbey to Speed, courtesy GTR stop and speed should be an easy move. Nothing that Monk can do, but look at the penalties. Abbey to Speed has over 11 seconds of penalties, and Seasor is now attacking RKV, and this should be an easy move on the inside. He has the grip, and that's the move done and dusted. So Seasor retakes the lead of the Belgian Grand Prix for I don't know how many. We've had quite a lot of race leaders in this race already, so which is good to see. The start of this race, the first stint especially, was quite chaotic. Abbey to Speed is up in P2, while this Monk is under attack from Ancient Pleb, which should be done, I think, at the long launch mode, as Wireless Monk get a 4 seconds time penalty for reasons unknown. This game not known to have the fairest penalty systems, but yeah, from the exit up to the bus stop chicane, I think Ancient Pleb, yeah, you can see much better exit speed compared to Monk, and easy move done and dusted as RKV is being overtaken by Abbey to Speed. So Abbey to Speed up into P2 now, as we see all of these guys come through. So Abitakor in a spot of his own, and so is Seasor 218.7, 218.6, 212.3 is the 212.2. So that's the fastest lap of the race. 213.1 is fastest from Abbey. 212.6 is fastest from Seasor. So everyone going quite well there. Ancient Pleb is now attacking his next victim in RKV. RKV is on the racing medium, so there's nothing he could do. Much better grip through Euroge and Radillion, and should be an easy move for Ancient Pleb, which already is. Goes a bit defensive just in case. RKV decides to send it down the send it through the outside, but there's nothing he could do. So now it should be a battle between these three, pretty soon, Ancient Pleb, we've seen the pace that he has over most of these guys. Compared to Seasor, he definitely has the advantage, so he should close up onto him unless Abbey to Speed plays acts like a wall for his teammate and stops Ancient Pleb. But Abbey to Speed is no slouch either. Abbey to Speed is a race winner. He won the last race in Bathurst, so he should close up to Seasor pretty quickly, as well as we see someone battling at 80 Sands and Skinny. So Skinny, who was leading the race at one point, is down into P9. So, and he started on pole, let's not forget. So not the best race is he having at the moment. He should have been somewhere further up the grid order is what he would have hoped for, but yeah, P9 is not the best. As we see him sending it down the inside, but Edie Sands not giving up. They both go side by side, and they're still side by side. A lot of switchbacks going on. Should we see another switchback? Well, there was an attempt, but didn't work out as hoped. But I think by bus stop chicane we could see the overtake. But let's just go to the lead. Yeah, we can see Abbey to Speed has closed the gap down to Seasor. But let's just get back to Sands and Skinny. Skinny has made his overtake before the bus stop. So did Edie Sands had some spin? Not really sure. We have missed that, which is unfortunate. Again, we missed another action on track. But the thing is, there's so many actions going on track that it's hard to keep up on everything, as Dr. White is still running on racing hards. He's still yet to make a pit stop. Abitakor on Vaughan Soft, but he should have the run on the Lexus by the end of Camel Straight. And yeah, I mean, by the midway we can see the overtake being made, and that's P5 done and dusted. Wildest Monk is meanwhile on his own in P4. Where is he? Oh, now he's on back, right on the tail of Seasor, his teammate. So I don't think Seasor will fight this too much, because these two are fighting for constructors as well against the other guys. So irrespective of how they finish in 1 and 2, from constructor point of view, they will take home the same amount of points. So will Seasor let him through at the Blanchimont? I think that's the better corner where he can let him through, or maybe before that. Let's just see. Yeah, Seasor just lifting off and letting him through. So doing the right thing, not holding his teammate up, as his teammate has definitely much more pace than him, and maybe use Abbey to Speed's slipstream to get away from Ancient Pleb, who definitely has much more pace than Seasor in the game. You can see him at the background. You can't miss that bright green color anywhere from any point of the track, can you? So I mean, by the end of long straights, I'm pretty sure that Seasor will have pulled away some gap from Ancient Pleb, but it's the braking zone where Ancient Pleb gets all the time. And you can see Ancient Pleb is again in the pits. So this is another pit stop. I believe that's 3 more pit stops than these two guys. And where's P4? P4 is in the pits as well. So Abitakor in P5 is now coming to the final corner. Ancient Pleb, not sure what compound is he in. These two are still going on. Don't think Seasor will make any move here, but still use the slipstream advantage to pull as much gap as possible to Ancient Pleb. Ancient Pleb was in P3 when he made his pit stop, and he is still in P3 after his pit stop. But he's under attack from Abitakor, and Abitakor, as we know, doesn't have too much care about what strategy he's on as in compared to others. If he sees an opportunity, he will still send it, but I think Ancient Pleb got a better exit off the Radillion, so he should keep P3 for now, and in Sector 2 he will pull away further as Abitakor just loses it on the entry. Further down the grid order, Wildest Monk, on his fresh softs, really cuts the corner. Couldn't brake on time, and allowing RKV to close in just a little bit, and Skinny in P8, Archie in P9, Sands in P10, Flipper in his Lamborghini, not doing quite well in P11, and Dinesh down into P12. And as expected, Abby to Speed, who's clearly quicker than his teammate, has now pulled quite a gap, around maybe a couple of seconds. But now Abby to Speed is on a charge to the two leaders. So the two leaders should be pitting in, reacting to the pit stop made by the ancient pleb. I mean, they have to. I mean, they are on the worn tires. These two guys, look at the tire weight. They will be struggling for the front end grip. As we see a three-way battle between Dr. White, Wildest Monk, and RKV. Dr. White on the racing hard is yet to make a pit stop, and is Monk on the inside? He is on the inside on the fresh racing soft, and Abby Thakur in P4 is not far off, but you can see RKV out of nowhere will be making the move for P5. No, I think he'll have to play the waiting game here, maybe try to send it, use his grip in under braking and take P5 from him, and it looks like that he is sending it down the inside. Dr. White quite expectedly and quite well actually, giving him all the space as Seasor and Abby to Speed are in the pits. Ancient Pleb is up into P2, Abby to Speed coming up out in P1. So this is really interesting. Abby to Speed on fresh rubber, Ancient Pleb on a 1 lap old rubber. Caesar meanwhile has really dropped a position there down into P3. So he is technically out of running of winning the race. So this is the battle that we need to stay on. So we have just over 5 minutes left for this race to go. Will Ancient Pleb send it down the inside? No, he decides against it. So this should be a good opportunity for Abby to Speed to pull away from him, because this is a sector where your grip comes into play, and Abby to Speed definitely has that advantage. So will Caesar close down the gap on Ancient Pleb? We'll have to wait and see. Meanwhile, RKV has managed to I mean, he did overtake him, but Wildest Monk has managed to overtake Dr. White on Racing Hard. He is still going on, by the way, yet to make a pit stop, doing pretty well. So I think he will be yet another driver attempting a one-stop strategy. Abby to Speed and RKV being the other one, and he's being, yeah, he will be under attack from Abby Thakur pretty soon. Archie, meanwhile, he's still in P8, with Skin in P9, Edie stands P10, Flipper in P11, and Dinesh still in P12. So no change in positions there, and no change in position here as well. So Abby to Speed still holding on to his lead, and he will pull away just a tad bit because he's in the GTR. As Ancient Pleb goes wide, so this will not help him close down the gap. Caesar is still in P3, doing quite well there. RKV and Monk are now fighting for P4. Abby to Speed has managed to close down the gap to Dr. White, and he will be like as Abby Thakur gets a tank slapper but manages to hold on, so well done to him. Now Wildest Monk is right on RKV's tail, so he should be attempting a move at the bus stop, but I think RKV gets a much better one of that left-hander, and nothing Wildest Monk can do, but he still sends it down the inside. RKV broke really late, and Abby Thakur overtook Dr. White before even the braking zone. So well done to Abby Thakur. So Abby Thakur could be joining this battle pretty soon. RKV is on one softs, as we did see there, and on the outside Wildest Monk makes the move stick, and now he's up into P4. But now, as the long Camel Straight is about to start, RKV will have the advantage of the slipstream on the Wildest Monk, so RKV could have that P4 back with him, depending on the exit they get out of Red Dealer, which he managed to get a Wildest Monk. Not the best of exit, really struggling to get the power down, and this will allow RKV to get that moves even before the braking zone of by the end of the Camel Straight. And you can see RKV yeah, reclaiming P4, and that has allowed the battle between those two, has allowed Abby Thakur to close the gap down to his teammate. So now it's a three-way battle for P4 between RKV, Wildest Monk, and Abby Thakur. Dr. White meanwhile has still decided to stay out on track. Further up the field, Abby to Speed has pulled a gap to Ancient Pleb, you can see the tire weight is now really coming into effect there, as Abbey to Speed has much better tires to Ancient Pleb, and now Ancient Pleb is coming under attack from Seasor. Not really there, but Seasor is definitely under under the pump to really push and catch Ancient Pleb and take advantage of Ancient Pleb's old worn out rubber. So I don't think this is the time to make any more pit stop, as we are well over 28 minutes, so just under 2 minutes more to go. So they will have just one more lap of the track. I'm sorry for that. So they'll have just one more lap to go as the battle for P4. So it's a battle for P1 and P4, as we see Abbey Thakur has fallen back, so something must have happened there. RKV has moved up into not up but down to P5, but not as down as into P6, where the tire advantage of Abbey Thakur would have had him. Meanwhile, at the rest of the track, Dr. White still continuing. Don't think he'll pit now, there's no point. Abbey Thakur has closed down the gap to RKV as expected, but now the final lap has started and we can see the gap between these two. So Abbey to Speed is trying to get that penalty down. We can see it's just over 4.5 seconds. So with Abbey to Speed slowing down, this is not really helping Seasor, his teammate, to close down the gap on Ancient Pleb, because Ancient Pleb is getting all the slipstream that he wants to keep the gap constant with Seasor's GTR, who has much better top end speed than the Mercedes. So Seasor must be telling him to push more and not care about his penalties, because he needs to really overtake Pleb, who has more penalties than Seasor at this point. So you can see Abbey to Speed, Ancient Pleb and Seasor all really close to each other. Let's just have a look further down the field. Monk and RKV are still together. Where is Abbey Thakur? Abbey Thakur has lost even more ground, so he has not made a pit stop. He must have lost his car somewhere, and that has allowed Dr. White to move up into P6. So let's just get back on to the battle for the podium. So anyone can have this podium at this stage. Anyone can have the race victory. Could it be race number victory number 2 for Abbey to Speed, or victory number 3 for Ancient Pleb? This is his third race, member, so he can have 3 in a row in terms of the races that he has entered. Or could it be victory number 1 for Seasor? Only time will tell. So just 3 to 4 more quarters to go. So now upcoming to the long straight, Seasor not being held by going really wide there. He needed that perfect entry for the Blanchimont to get any closer to Ancient Pleb. Now these guys need to get rid of the penalties. Abbey to Speed has a lot of penalties. Ancient Pleb has 2.6. Seasor, I believe, has 1.6 seconds of penalty. So now it's all down to how they get rid of these penalties at the start finish straight. So Abbey to Speed is breaking, Ancient Pleb is breaking, Seasor is breaking. Now who crosses the line first? Ancient Pleb has won the race from Seasor. Abbey to Speed not able to finish the race into the lead, so that he has finished in P3. Ancient Pleb has made it 3 wins out of 3 in the races he has attended. Wireless Monk crosses the line in P4. RKV held on to his P5 quite smartly. Dr. White, I don't think he has made any pit stop to the entirety of the race, finishing in P6. Not the best of the race from Abbey Thakur, I must say. He could have had P4, finishing in P7. Archie in P8. Skinny, meanwhile, the laugh of the runner, someone who could have won the race, possibly, who was leading the race at one point, will be the laugh of the finishers, finishing in P9. But what an incredible race at Spa. We could have had anyone winning the race. It was all about who could break more just before the finishing line to get rid of those penalties, and it was Ancient Pleb who won the race.